Ladies and gentlemen, you have waited all week.
Yeah, Boogie Page. Throwing it down for All Things BMX is ready. I know I am. Just hack the ATB Airways. Let's kick it. All Things BMX. It's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like and subscribe, kick back and relax. Said it's All Things BMX. It's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. All Things BMX is streaming to you. So post up on your couch, screencast to YouTube. It's gonna be fun, it will be a blast. You gotta do much but kick back and relax. They coming to you live from a studio, or they might be at the track, man, you never know. So don't go anywhere when my rhymes are done, cause the show's just starting, let's have some fun. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. I said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. So like and subscribe, kick back and relax. All Things BMX got the boogeyman's back, so I wrote them this track to send some love back. JT, Melissa, Chris, and Paul did it damn and kinda get it entertain y'all. And I wonder who gon' have on the show as a guest. I bet someone good who's gonna impress. Guess I would just have to wait and see. Let's get the show going and start the party. Said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like and subscribe, kick back and relax. Said it's All Things BMX, it's a BMX show. Unlike the rest, if you need some info, they got the best. Like, subscribe, kick back and relax.
Welcome to the All Things BMX Show. We hope you guys are ready, man. It's episode 151. We made it.
Oh, we made it past 150.
We finally made it past 150. 151, still living the dream. We got a very special guest this evening. Chris Jeffrey is going to join us this evening. Chris is one of the youngest pros in BMX, and he's been racing for over 5 decades, multiple titles, multiple plates. Very excited to have him back on the show. He was, what show was he on, Chris? Do you remember?
Lane 8.
No.
Wrong answer. Damon, what show was he on?
Our show.
Our show.
I was just saying.
Michigan BMX Podcast,
Yeah.
episode 2.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Okay, well, you didn't.
It's been a minute, man.
Okay,
Chris, get it right.
I misunderstood
It's all right.
the question.
Chris is going to be joining us on the Danger Snack satellite feed. The Danger Snack satellite feed is brought to you by our good friends over at Danger Snacks. It's the difference between dragging ass or hauling ass. If you guys haven't got yourself some, go on their website, and what discount code are you going to use?
Shit show.
That's right.
Yeah.
It gets you a discount.
Yeah.
Big
can't
shout
believe
out
it
We
to
used to
go
have
through.
2 of them, but I think you did away with
ours.
mine.
Yeah, the other one won.
Mine lost out.
Yep. Big shout out to our good friends over at the Power FX Speed Co. Racing Team this evening for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting us. The opening song is brought to you by our good friend, the Boogeyman himself. You guys, we say it each week. Go over, support him, give him a like, give him a follow. And we're going to put the link in there so you can do that. You guys don't forget, you can support the show this evening while you're watching the show by sending stars, or you can go over to our Buy Me a Coffee page and send us a donation.
We could use some coffee.
No, money.
Well,
The Michigan studio that the fam's back in is brought to you by our good friends over at Desoto BMX, who re-up for another 6 months, so we're happy for that. Thank you, Casey and Chris, and everyone over there under the big top.
right now.
That's right. The show's Chaz brought to you by our good friends at BMX Rocks Photography. They were down there at the Steel Wheels
Steel
Gold
Wheels.
Cup taking lots of pictures.
Yeah, I think. Are they out yet? Have we seen them yet?
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
been posting them.
She's got them posted up. Okay. Go
Shit.
check them out if you were at Steel Wheels this weekend.
She even made me look fast laying on the couch because I didn't go. Tonight's chat question, you guys. Let's pop off with this one. All right. Who is your elite woman pick of the year? Who are you picking?
For number 1 at the end of the season?
Absolutely. Who's your
Number one.
number 1 pick for the year?
Wow.
Mm.
You know,
There's a lot in there.
Do we want to go there right now?
Well, we can.
Felicia.
Yeah, I was going to say Felicia Stansel. She's looking pretty
Felicia.
good.
That's Chris.
Yeah.
Our guest.
yeah.
I'm like,
He's on the
Sorry.
screen.
that was weird.
No,
it
you're
just
good.
sounded funny. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Felicia, you got to go with. But, I mean, shoot, there's a couple more in there, too.
You got to pick one, Chris.
All right, I'll go with Felicia.
Damon.
Skittles.
Melissa.
Felicia.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm looking at Skittles.
Justin.
She's making a coming.
Who am I picking?
Who are you picking, dude?
Elise.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Tonight's
I know
showcase
somebody had to.
is brought to you by Answer BMX.
That's not a bad pick either. I mean, nobody, don't count her out, man.
You can't.
No, you can't count her out.
Nobody.
BMX Newsmaker is brought to you by our good friends over at 110% Nutrition. Melissa's world famous trivia segment brought to you by our good friends over at Bombshell Racing System. DJ Damon is brought to you by our friends over at Hot Shot BMX Racing. The birthday shout outs are brought to you by On Two Wheels. And our show opening is brought to you by our good friends that are on the road this evening, heading down to Rock Hill. Gate 9 custom number plates.
Yeah, make sure you call him up, get your plates if you don't have them yet. Also, live version of the show is sponsored by Mega Design Group. Make sure you check them out. And the podcast version is sponsored, as usual, by Dye Job Apparel. So if you need a tent, get a hold of Mega Design. If you need apparel,
Or a
Dye Job.
custom jersey.
Or a custom jersey. Yeah,
Yeah.
get a hold of Sean at Dye Job Apparel.
You can have your name put on the back, Chris.
Yeah. Just
In whatever font you
that
want.
one over there. All right. So let's welcome in our guest. What?
I didn't say
What
nothing.
font?
Whatever.
I don't know.
I didn't say nothing.
All right.
I know. I just kind of got the feeling you were trying to go somewhere, and I screwed it up. That's all. I'm sorry.
We'll square dance later.
Okay. I used to do that.
Well, next week on next week's show, we'll talk with Chris on how he used to square dance. Mr. Jeffrey,
Yes, sir.
how's it been for you, man?
It's been good. Super stoked to be here.
You know what? It's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
That's been
Been a minute.
151 episodes.
It's been 100, yeah, right around
well,
there.
no, 150, I guess.
149.
149.
40. What?
It's a good thing I'm
Yep.
good at math.
I'm not.
Yeah, no, super happy to be here and super proud of you guys.
Oh,
Thank you.
150 episodes, amazing. Congrats.
We appreciate that.
thank
Thank
Yes,
you.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, we.
Yeah, no, super happy to be part of this. So,
Yeah, we're just getting started.
yeah, pretty much. Really,
I'll see you in 300.
yeah.
There you
There
go.
you go. All right.
You'll be
let's
back on in 300.
Let's mark that on the
Right on.
calendar. So, we're kind of, we may ask you some questions we asked you the last time you were on, because
Sure.
I mean, we were just getting started. We had what did we say, like 5-6 people watching last time?
Dude, do you remember? I mean, Chris remembers. We used to sit like across a desk
Oh,
from each
man.
other and stare at each
You
other.
yeah.
almost could simulate it with where you are right
We-
now.
we'd
Yeah,
have
but this
to-
thing was this. Actually, this desk is wider.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
it
Chris and
is.
I just looked like we were on an awkward Tinder date.
Oh, it was. Yeah.
And we used to like turn and have to look up at Chris on the show. It was.
Yeah.
anyway.
As
Yeah,
you
it was.
slowly move that way. You need to move together, not away from each other.
Oh, if there wasn't the desk between us, I think our knees would have been hitting
Oh, for sure.
with the
boy.
chair. Yeah.
It
Well,
was
that's right,
tight,
because you were
but
on the back of the
you guys
desk.
got through it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did. We
yeah,
did.
Yeah.
We
Came
ran
a
that.
long way.
Yeah, we ran
So-
that whole thing on a raggedy computer, and we're very glad to have you on the show then and now,
And now.
because I mean, now more than ever, man. Want to hear you tell us again how you found BMX.
Well, back in the day when we were kids, we always just kind of wanted to simulate or, mimic our older brothers or older friends' brothers that were riding motocross bikes. So we started doing what we did with our bikes. And, for me, I ended up being taken to an event called Yamaha Dirt Days by my dad. And that was in 1975. And at that demo, it was just a big demo. All the Yamaha products were on display. They had a makeshift BMX track set up which I had never seen before. And they had a whole fleet of these yellow banana seat full suspension Yamaha bikes, and they were holding these makeshift races. And so I got in there and got a little taste of racing a bike I never even seen before. I thought it was super cool. And at that time, I believe Waterford was just getting started or within the first year or two. And somehow my dad found out about Waterford and we ended up leaving Yamaha Dirt Days, purchasing a couple of bikes from a Yamaha dealer and heading to Waterford. And that's basically how it kind of got started for me.
How did your dad? I mean, because that's way before social media, correct?
The internet.
Yeah, well, what it was
How did he find out?
I think that as a kid, me and all my friends were drooling over the Yamaha, like the new little YZ80 or I think the 80 back then might have been an RM80. I can't even remember, but it was an old 80cc Yamaha. But as kids, we were drooling over that, and that's what we really wanted to go see. And I don't know how we found out about it, but it was big. It was at the Michigan State Fairgrounds, so it was probably on the news. It was probably on the radio. And my dad was actually a police officer in our local town. So, somehow he found out about that event going on, and that's how we made our way down there.
Wow.
So,
like when you really eliminate the fact of internet, social media, like
That's a true point.
we're all sitting here like we were all on the cusp of that boom. It was kind of crazy to think like how you found out about the sport. It was like phone calls and how you got to the track and everything like that. So that's
it was back then. It was getting a flyer at your local bike shop that may have been pinned to a wall. I mean, it was compared to today. It's absolutely amazing. The way we communicate today, we just take it for granted. Back then, it was you had to pick up a phone or you had to send somebody a letter in the mail. So
right.
Or a payphone.
Yeah.
Damon remembers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can remember when I first started.
It was almost horse and buggy days.
Right.
I mean, for sure.
I can remember like many trips out to the track. Like you didn't know if you're gonna have the race or not. I mean,
Is it open?
It was well the weather.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You just had to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was almost never a question back then.
No. You just
In fact,
It was happening.
in the mid to late 70s, Waterford Oaks actually had a huge water hole that was super popular. I mean, the first couple of years that I started racing there, they literally filled this water hole, and it was almost like kids back then. We almost wanted it muddy. We wanted it dirty,
Right.
because we were wanting to mimic those motocrossers and do the same things they did. So it was just a little bit different mentality back then. We wanted big knobbies. We wanted fenders on our bikes. There were none. Nobody made any, but we wanted fenders that looked like a Yamaha 80.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's how it was, right? I mean, shoot. So like, what's the difference between now and then? I mean, it's night and day. I mean, we're.
Yeah. I mean, it's just different. It's like any other sport. It's just BMX now is much more refined. So it's moved away from that. But it's got its positive points as well. It's not that it's a negative thing.
No.
It's just that BMX has evolved like everything else. If you look at football, these guys nowadays play on artificial turf. They wear hardly any pads. I mean, it's just crazy. So it's just the same thing. It's just evolved.
Right.
It's just different.
Well, that's what I hear that a lot from people. They're like, "Oh, BMX isn't what it used to be. It's not even real racing anymore." And I kind of
it's not what it used to be, but it's still racing. It's a different type of racing, and you're always going to have those people that are always pointing out the past.
Right.
I was asked a question by Todd on the Late A podcast. He asked me if I felt that today's racers, had respect for, the old schoolers or yesterday's racers. And, that question kind of struck me a little bit. I don't know, just kind of odd, because I felt like, yes, I do believe that most people have respect, uh, especially for the guys that used to race it. But I also told them that it's really hard to have that level of respect unless you were there. So, it's weird to think of it in a respect way, I guess. I think that BMX racers today are beyond what we were doing back then. Obviously, the skill level is just beyond,
Yeah.
anybody back in the day. So it's like trying to compare two totally different things, totally different. So, and both, have their own fantastic points at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, I think you're right. Like, just like any other sport, like Chris just said, it's evolved. I mean, they're not using the same turf, the same ball, the same bat they used 20, 30, 40 years ago. It's all evolved and moved along. Things are different.
Correct. Everything's changed. The geometry on the bikes have changed. So what I noticed, when I came back to BMX, about 2010, 2011, that's when I kind of rolled out to the track for the first time in a few years. The first thing I looked at was, whoa, I saw the jumps and I thought, this is everything we ever dreamt of, when we were kids. I'm looking at these jumps thinking, my God, they finally did it. These guys got all the jumps. And, but then I started noticing, once I actually got on a bike and started riding the bike, how much the geometry had shifted, and how how the steer tube had steepened drastically, and just how the whole bike and everything had shifted into a forward position, as to the old school laid back, slow, sloppy steering crap that we rode. We didn't know it was that bad, but it's bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
Today's equipment is better. Today's bikes are better. They're faster. They're so good. They're just so good. And the tracks complement the bikes as well. So
For sure.
So, Chris, are you saying you don't want to get on a 19-inch top tube anymore?
no, yeah, definitely. There's no way. I would literally kill myself. The first jump, I would loop out and it would be over. So
19-inch top tube, layback seat post. I mean, you don't want that no more, man?
No. Yeah, no.
Oh, that and the seat post, but like
Yeah.
4 feet up in the air.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I still ride mine like that.
I'm thinking more this year about slapping some some knobbies on my quad angle and racing that, 26-inch wheels, way more stable.
There you go. Yeah.
Nice.
So to jump back into like early on when you got into the racing scene, and then we're going to definitely go back and talk a little bit more about the changes in BMX racing. Exactly how old were you when you turned pro? But like, what was the landscape of BMX pro racing at the time that you turned pro?
When I turned pro, I was 16 years old. So I had been racing expert for a couple years prior, and my birthday's in August. So, I raced 15 expert. Then I turned 16 in August. Then I finished out the season in 16 expert. And, honestly, there wasn't a whole lot going on indoors in the winter at that time in Michigan. So, the first big race of the season after the end of that previous season, the first big race was the Mongoose Coliseum Classic, and that was in 1981, and that was in February of 81. And, I didn't really have any big plan of turning pro. I just, I went to this race. as pretty much everyone in Michigan and the Midwest and all over the place went to this race because it was the first big, huge race of the year. And it was indoors. And when we showed up to register, I noticed right away on the registration form that there was this new category that was being offered, and it was A and B Pro. And I thought, okay, what is this? So I found out that, that was the first time, or the sanctioning body had decided to start this, instead of there just being a straight pro class, they were basically offering, a B Pro class. So an entry into racing pro. So I thought, wow, I don't know. I just thought I'm going to do it. I want to race pro. And I did it. I just signed up B Pro, as did, a good handful of other guys in Michigan on that particular day. And, I ended up registering as a B Pro that day, got my license. I had a really good day. I finished second place to Tommy Brackens, and that was also his first race as a pro.
Nice.
And so that, turned out to be something that was really cool. Tommy and I actually, we hooked up at Nashville in 2021. I got to chat with him, and he also has his still has his plaque. I have my plaque hanging on the wall in my basement, still from that pro race. So, and from that point on, I just 1981, February of 81, I turned B Pro, and rolled into that year as a B Pro, and did a bunch of races, like some NBL War of the Star races, rolled through Michigan. And I honestly can't remember all the races I did, but that was my first year. So, and it was a pretty good year.
That's pretty sweet.
So I have a very selfish question to ask you. Okay.
Okay. I got an answer.
Okay, good. So Melissa and I live down here in Hartland.
We do.
And we've heard all of the rumors. Well, not rumors, right?
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
not
rumor.
rumors. Entirely.
We've heard
New to us,
like
but-
all of the talk about the indoor that used to be on 59. Did you ever race at that place?
Yeah. So that was the very first indoor. It was owned by Chuck and Dee Steimer. It was called Bogey Downs.
Yep.
That was the one across
And
the
it
street?
was literally in an old horse
It's on
barn.
Bogey Lake Road.
I
near
think
59.
actually that photo right there on your screen, that's in Bogey Downs right there.
Was that the one here in Hartland, though? In Hartland. It was
in Hartland.
It was.
So it was on. This one was M59 and Bogey Lake Road.
Yeah, no.
That's not the one.
No,
it was.
that's
it
a
was
different one.
We're talking about the
Okay.
one on M59 and 23, right?
Yes, that came later. This was
Okay, yeah.
what he's
I
talking
don't
about
know
was
that I was
first.
ever at that track. No, I don't know that I was ever there.
Oh, okay.
I've been
Oh,
there.
Bu-
It did exist.
Buzz says it was called Crossroads.
Crossroads BMX. Yes.
It was.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
I have
don't.
trophies
I
from
can't
there.
honestly remember if I remember that name, Crossroads BMX.
Yeah.
It's possible I was there. I just honestly, old man
Can't-
brain. I
trust me,
can't honestly remember if I was there or not.
Man,
Chris,
you're not
I don't
old.
remember where I was last week. Okay, so
The
It's
thing,
okay.
The thing with the Crossroads one was it was small because it was actually in a hockey arena, so the track
Gotcha.
was really narrow and tight, but it's still fun.
from what I understand, it's over like Rural King is. Across the
Yes,
street. from
roughly,
me. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. Bogey Downs was in an old horse barn, and I'm telling you, it was small.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Uh,
Yeah.
So-
No, that place was cool too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Over,
I didn't
I'm
know you
taking
had
over.
been there,
I've been
actually.
there. Yeah.
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 Okay. Before we move on, we're going to jump over to Melissa real fast for a chat check-in brought to you by our good friends over at BMX Rocks Photography, who was hanging out down at the Gold Cup that definitely did not get pictures.
She did not make it there.
She wasn't there?
No.
Mhm.
Then
Just
whose
Mo.
pictures did I see?
Brian.
Oh, BP?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I saw BP.
Brian
Miller.
Miller.
Okay,
Yeah, but Mo was there, right?
Yeah, Mo was there, but
All right.
she was on grandma duty.
Oh.
And the chat.
Grandma Duty's way funner than
I would imagine.
Grandma Duty's
There was
way.
probably still a
Grandma
lot of-
Duty is way more fun than taking pictures of
Well,
dirty
there
ass
probably was still a
BMXers.
lot of photos being taken,
Yeah.
just of cuter targets.
Exactly. All right, Melissa, take it away. Let us know what's going on in the chat
Yeah,
tonight.
Well, we're gonna say hi to Damon, Rick, Robert, Jeff Schroeder's in there, Sean, Gifford, Justin, Brian Fell, Rick Carter. Everybody's tuning in. I'm trying to see if anybody gave us a guess on the pro here. As we mentioned, Mo had said that Roxanne was on grandma duty. Emily Schaefer, what's up? Oh, Rick Carter says Molly Simpson is his choice.
That's a good one.
BMX Rocks is going to be at trackside at Marysville Double next weekend. Ooh, first outside race, huh? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Hi to Mike Melvin. He's also in the chat. Billy and Jen are tuning in. Thanks for the tips, guys. Appreciate that quality check there. Noah and Drake Robinson are also in the chat.
What up, dogs?
Buzz Lavier, as we mentioned, also tuning in. We appreciate it. Hollywood Mike Miranda is also with us over on YouTube. Thanks. David Dortona also tuning in. Mo Collins' vote is for Peyton Radnauer or Molly Simpson, who he's going to be watching. Thinks it's going to be a breakthrough year for both of them.
Could be.
Yeah, I'm going to say hi to Brent Walk, Pete Vitale maybe? Vital. He says BMX is better today. Paul Remington's tuning in from his home sound studio. He says Peyton is his pick as well.
He's in the fear bunker.
Oh, I forgot. See, in the back of my mind, it was like racing really fast to try to remember what we used to call it. And
It's a fear bunker.
It didn't come forward, so thank you for the help. Let's see. Oh, Mo also made a comment. He said, I would bet a lot of those 1980s guys that badmouth today's tracks and racing couldn't hang today.
Guaranteed.
Easy to talk
Yeah.
that mess from the couch.
Yep.
Which I'm sure is true.
Get fired up now.
I mean, I should talk all the tracks from the couch.
Buzz was reminiscing about handheld wooden gates.
Oh.
Oh,
That's
Actually, I raced on one track in my day that had a wooden gate for real.
really?
Wow.
Yeah, Alpina did for a minute.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Bogey Downs had wood, but it had a grate in there, if I remember right. And
Yeah.
a few other ones, but that's
Famous
here.
BMX in Inkster had a wooden gate.
Oh, I can't even imagine that.
1 foot starts, man. 1 foot starts. It's a whole nother art.
Yeah.
Kids today just don't know.
Right?
Right.
Shit, that's a T-shirt, kid.
Could you imagine starting with 1 foot and then having to clip in?
that motor planning kind of blows my mind.
Right.
Say hi to Sean DeVore with Lincoln DeVore Racing. He says, word up, y'all. The Joneses are tuning in from the road. I know they're also on their way to Rock
They're
Hill.
heading to Rock Hill, yeah.
Jill and Nick are both tuning in separately.
Separately.
Nick, honk the horn when you're at Buc-ee's.
Well, at least let Jill get in the truck this time. Sean Gifford, for all those in the Illinois area, says that Rockford opening is this Sunday too.
Wow.
This Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Man.
So
That track's going to be
So
cold.
we got Illinois
Gangs.
and Ohio tracks starting
I
up this coming
guess,
weekend.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
rounding out this round, we're gonna say hi to Low and Slow over on YouTube. Would be
My
awesome if Michigan got an indoor track.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Well,
the
it would be
truth?
nice.
That would be the truth. Oh, look at that. Chris Beer's also tuning in.
I figured everybody else was. I had
I know,
to.
right? Hi to Craig Dragna, who I also believe is over at Rock Hill already. So good
Yes.
luck to everybody this weekend as you head down to the national that's going to happen down there. All right. Oh, they're supposed to 60 degrees in Illinois this weekend. I can see why they're going to try to
Yeah,
race.
makes sense.
I mean, it snowed here today, so what the hell?
Yeah, it was snowing today.
It sure was. So
Holy cow.
thank you. Oh, CC Marie, last one I'm going to say hi to. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We appreciate it. If anybody's got any questions for Mr. Jeffrey, put them in the chat.
All right. Thank you, Melissa. And thank you, BMX Rocks, who was not at the Gold Cup this
Who
weekend.
was not?
We just assumed, I guess, didn't we?
Well, I saw some good pictures
Justin,
of Mo.
A lot of people assume Justin and I are always together, too. They're a tight couple.
I mean,
so.
I saw like some good pics of Mo, and I'm like, shit, his old ladies are telling me, whatever. It just happened.
Hey, I wanted to say something really quick before you.
What?
So the fella in the chat, Buzz Lavier,
Yes.
his family was part of the first Bogey Downs track over here in what I guess it would be Highland area over
It probably
there.
was Highland.
Sure,
yeah.
that's just down the road.
Him and Chris, help me out. Steimers.
Buzz isn't OG. Buzz was there
Yeah.
long time ago. Yep.
Yeah. I think
His parents, and with Chuck and Dee Steimer.
Yeah.
I believe, and Buzz can confirm this, but I believe his parents had quite a bit to do with Baja Acres.
okay. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I could be mistaken, but it seemed that seemed to jog my memory. But yeah, Buzz and his family have been around BMX for many, many years.
Yeah. I had a chance to talk to him and his dad a few years ago at Waterford Oaks. We had like a vintage old school day, and they came out there. Cool bikes too. He's got some cool bikes.
No, he's still got some stuff.
Yeah.
So I love to see Buzz. I haven't seen him. I did see him at that vintage show that you're talking about. So,
Right.
And I did get a chance to see his dad as well. So it's nice to see them come out.
Yeah.
He said what you were saying was true.
Okay.
That he
So
concurred.
my memory's not too bad.
Nope. So far, the fact checkers in the chat are with you.
Sweet. Sweet.
Shoot. All right. So I'm sorry, Justin. I kind of hijacked that, but I just wanted to bring that up real quick.
No, you didn't.
What?
You didn't hijack anything.
I know, but you were starting to talk, and I cut you off. I'm sorry.
That's all I do is talk.
Well,
Oh, he says Dad's doing great. He will be turning 89.
Thanks, Melissa, for filling in that
Yeah,
empty.
you're welcome. We
Awesome.
couldn't get more awkward, so we're trying to move on.
I'm like, what do I do right now? My brain's locking up. I have all these buttons to push. Do I call Buzz and bring him on the show? Like, shit, I don't know what to do.
shoot. He could probably do a show himself.
Let's, Buzz, send Melissa your phone number, and we'll get you on a show. So, Chris, we talked about your early on career, bringing it in. Something I want to know, in your time, like, and it's you've been in the sport for a while, like on and off, and you've also been a fan, you've been a participant, and you've also competed at the highest level. When it comes to the sponsors, like now to then, and all those other times, where can the sport improve on capturing sponsors?
I think that it's hard to compare with back in the day. I think that back in the day things were so new, and that there were bigger companies that were more willing to shell out big money and hop on board right away, because it was something so new and seemingly so huge. And so I think that nowadays, there's so much competition. With social media and what have you, there's so many companies, there's so many product companies, there's so many bicycle companies and park companies, and there's so much competition. To me, I'm not really sure. It's hard to answer that question. I really don't have a straight up, good straight answer for you.
It's all right.
I think that there's maybe a lot of things that could, possibly help, but, it's hard. Footwork is hard. Footwork, going out there and retrieving and finding and talking to people, I think to me is still better than trying to link up with people online. And it seems that so much of our society has become just linked up online that I think that it just becomes more difficult for people to want to commit,
Nice. Yeah.
I can see that.
Well, I still think our sport's a little bit, and anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think our sport's still a little bit more kind of old-fashioned where, we're going to talk, we're going to have a handshake, and that's how we're going to do things.
Yeah, I think
We
there's
still
quite a
like to
bit.
meet up. We still like to
Exposure, you know,
talk, and we still love to meet up.
exposure as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, exactly. And especially the exposure part, right? Like we love to meet up, we love to hang out, and we love to ride together. And how can we help each other out with the exposure, as Chris is saying? Like, how does that happen? And look, you see it all the time, Chris. You see like places that are tracks, right? You see tracks that go at that have pro-ams with like all this money. You know, like I don't know.
Yep.
Sometimes more than a national pays out. And you know, it's like, how do they do it? Well, that's like probably what Chris is saying, you know, just go and talk face to face, right? Or network, right?
Yeah. That's part of networking, getting in front of people and talking to them instead of
Well, and that's the footwork
email.
part of it that I mean that, you know, that is so many times I feel like absent, you know, even in my business today. I mean, with cycling, you know, it's just like everybody just wants to, you know, do it online, or, you know, it's for me, I think that if you're really going in, like you say, Justin, you know, a handshake, you know, yes, you and I can operate off a handshake, you know that. But I think to go in and talk to people, you know, and a lot of it has to do, I think, also with, you know, some of those larger sponsors and some of those races you're talking about with big pro-am payouts. You know, there's somebody involved with their track that's got access to making something like that happen. And so I think a little bit of it's luck, but I think footwork is huge. You have to pursue someone or something, you know, that you're looking for. And I think it's best to do it, you know, in person myself.
Yeah.
I think it's more sincere that way.
Yeah. You had answered this question on Todd's podcast, and I really liked it. All right, so some of us, we all listen to his podcast, and some of us don't. So I want you to answer this question, and I know it's a repeat, but walk us through your very first BMX race. Like, what do you remember? How did that feel? What were the things that today, you know, all this time away? And here's the part that I love about this, is because when I was sitting here listening to that, I instantly like clicked and went back to my very first BMX race. And I think everyone that's going to listen, while you explain your very first BMX race and what you had talked about on Todd's podcast, and you're going to share with us, we'll like revert back to that, and we'll have a story to share. And if you have a story to share, put it in the chat. But like yours was really, it hit home. It really hit home.
So, you know, I think what I actually answered on Todd's podcast was, you know, my first BMX race, or my first race was that day, you know, at the Yamaha Dirt Days demo event. You know, my dad took myself and a couple of my friends from the neighborhood there, you know, and we all got bikes. And I think that we all, you know, used the Yamaha demo bikes. And to line up, you know, with 8 or 10 other kids like that on a line, and to take off, and to just, I think it was straight up the exhilaration of the racing other kids, that really did it. That really, you know, made me feel like, wow, this was the ultimate coolest thing ever. But I will tell you this, you know, I kind of remember my very first race, after I told you that we went to those demo days. My dad took my brother and I to a Yamaha dealer to purchase 2 yellow Yamaha full suspension bikes. And when we went there that day, we walked into the Yamaha dealer, and my brother said, "Yep, there's the yellow Yamaha." And I looked the other way, and there was the nickel-plated Mongoose with Moto Mags, and so that's what ended up being my first bike. Was the nickel-plated Mongoose with Moto Mags, Ashtabula forks and cranks, and so that was the first bike that I got taken out to Waterford, and that I think I was probably 12, maybe 12 years old, and that was the absolute. I didn't win a trophy that day. They only raced like one Tuesday a month during the summer, so they were just starting. The starting gate was just a big plank with a broom handle that was kind of bolted or screwed to it.
Oh my
And
goodness.
you know, and so yeah, that was the same thing. The moment that race happened, you know, it's just you just oh my God, all I want to do is race, ride BMX. I'm a BMXer, and that's it. It's just the end of everything, you know. So definitely remember those early days.
Wow.
Nice.
That's awesome.
What? Yeah.
All right, Chris, I got a question for you. I mean, you've been around the industry for years. You know, you worked at quite a few bike shops over the years. With so many of these major companies buying up a lot of the mom and pop bike shops, do you prefer a major bike shop or independent?
Well,
I kind of got a feeling where you're going to go with this, but I just want to hear your thoughts.
for me personally, I prefer a mom and pop shop. I worked mom and pop shop many years. And I've worked for, a major cycling corporation now for a few years. So I prefer the mom and pop for sure. And I'm, in a sense, heading back that direction here very shortly. There's a lot of good and a lot of positive things about the company, and regardless of what company or whether it's a Trek or Specialized, or it doesn't matter which company. When you're working for a corporation, it's a corporation. So I just personally, for me, I prefer the mom and pop shop for sure.
Okay.
With you on that.
Yeah.
Shout out to House of Wheels. Still mom and pops.
Yeah.
But you also are kind of in a transition right now, correct?
I am. Yep.
All
So
right.
after 12 years at the shop that I've been at, this is my 12th year there at KLM in Rochester. Friday, the 31st, will be my last day.
Wow.
And I am starting a new adventure right in my hometown with another gentleman. We're opening a brand new shop, and that shop is called Crank Cycle and Fitness. And I will no longer be driving an hour to work every day.
Wow. What a change.
That'll be a big change, won't it?
Yeah, I'm going to a 7-mile commute instead of a 47-mile commute. So, pretty happy about that. And, super excited for, scared. Yes. But, at the same time, sometimes when it just feels right, and life is too short to just sit back and wish you did something. And, I've got the opportunity to bring something sweet right here to my hometown. And it's a bicycle, so how much cooler is that?
Right.
It doesn't get any better than that for me.
And
So
for-
I'm hoping to bring a lot of smiles to my hometown, and we'll see how that goes. There will be a couple of BMXers in Crank Cycle and Fitness jerseys this year as well.
Ooh.
So
There you
Yep.
go.
So just a quick shout out to Kyle Bliss. Will be Kyle Bliss and
Congrats.
myself will both be running Crank Cycle and Fitness jerseys. So the shop's just starting. We are a giant dealer, so we've already got our first order of bikes on the way, and we are looking at our BMX options right now. So there will be some BMX there. It just probably won't be immediate, but it's coming. So we're working on it.
We'll
And
definitely
for
stop up
those
and
that
come
don't
see you.
know your hometown, what's your hometown?
My hometown is Lapeer, Michigan. So
Not Lapper.
Nope.
Not
yeah,
Lapper.
not Lapper.
Not Lapper.
It may be spelled that way, but it's pronounced Lapeer.
No, Lapper would have
Lapeer, yes.
Yeah, but
So yeah,
There's
we're
a certain
very
individual that's listening to the show right now that called it Lapper
Oh,
when we were at his track at Cape Coral.
oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Wouldn't. Yeah.
Nick Jones.
Never. Not Lapper, Lapeer. You know, hey, I want to be selfish for a minute, Chris. I'm actually very, very happy and excited about this endeavor because, well, you're closer to Melissa and I.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm definitely. There's a lot of people that are happy that we're gonna have a shop. There's no shop in Lapeer, so
Which is crazy.
Yeah, actually,
and
I'm surprised
there's
there
quite a
isn't
bit.
one.
There's quite a bit of need out here.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in Lapeer with a new pump track on the way. The trails at Oakdale. There's a good amount of activity going on in Lapeer. So
Richfield Park's not that far.
Nope.
Richfield Park is
2 exits.
10 minutes, 15 minutes down the road. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's right there too.
I still got to drive an
Yeah.
hour and 15 to see you.
I'll still help you out, D.
I know you will, man. Trust me, I'll be there.
I always got a tool bag with me, buddy.
I don't have a problem coming to see you at the shop.
No,
Look,
I want you to come see me.
Oh
Come
yeah,
see my new shop here.
I
you
will,
know.
man.
we'll come up there.
Give us a couple weeks to we're looking to open straight up on April 10th.
Okay.
That's our projected date right now. So the next week for me is going to be extremely busy.
Yeah,
So-
that's around the corner.
yeah.
All right.
Wow. Cool. Congratulations, Mr.
Yes.
Jeffrey.
Thank
That's
you.
pretty
100%.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so
Appreciate
all,
that.
all
Thank
you
you very
Michigan
much.
guys that need your bikes tuned up after April, what did we say, 10th?
10th, yeah.
Head up
Yep.
there, talk to Chris. He'll
Let's
take
go to-
care of you.
Yep.
Let's go to Lapper, Michigan.
Yep.
Hey, that's where I'll take my stuff.
I bet you
Yeah.
Chris could remember the skate park that was in Lapeer.
I do not.
You
I
don't.
do remember. I never was there.
But you
I'm
know
aware
of
of
it.
it.
Okay.
Yep, I know of it.
Right.
But I've not there. I've been here since like 2008. So I did not grow up in Lapeer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'll give somebody
Sticker pack.
Stickers.
We got
I'll
plenty of
give
stickers.
somebody some stickers I was going to throw away if they can name the skate park that was in Lapeer, Michigan, behind the Little Caesars.
Lapeer Skate Park.
No.
Damn.
It was an indoor, dude.
Oh.
The owner was a
I'm gonna tell you
doctor.
right now, if Pat Welch is listening, the answer's coming quick.
I know. Actually,
Right.
I rode with him there. Like many. Actually, I think him and I rented out a few times. It wasn't a terrible skate park. It was pretty cool.
Sweet.
Melissa, you got any questions in the chat?
Actually, Hollywood was wondering, Chris, if you happen to know what happened to Brian Barlow. I guess he was a Boogie Downs local. He went with him there once.
Yeah, no. So Mike, I do. Brian and I were best friends for a lot of years. We stayed in contact. We raced together. For many years. And Brian is living in Roanoke, Virginia. He's got a family. Life is going well for him. I have been in contact with him even within just the last couple months. And he is aware that I believe we got somebody his email. So yes, he is doing well. No social media.
Safe
But
for
he
them.
is doing
good
well,
for him.
and he's actually was very happy to know that that the BMX community is out there and kind of looking for him. So
Yeah.
I think it was Henry. I believe that Henry. I sent Henry his email, so I know they were looking for him for the JAG reunion, and I did let him know that. So he is aware, and I appreciate the inquiry.
Yeah.
Now, wasn't Brian on the same bike shop team you were back in the day, the Smiths?
Brian actually never rode for Smith. Brian was actually in the early days. He was, he rode for Scarlett Schwinn.
Okay.
He worked there for a little while. So in the early days, he rode for Scarlett Schwinn. Both Brian and I rode for Jack Davis for Davis Racing for a minute. But once Brian hooked up the Jag deal, that was pretty much he was Jag, for the next few years.
Yeah.
And that was kind of my last remembrance. I'm not sure if he went to another team after Jag or not.
Yeah, I don't know either. He also did something with ESPN, didn't he? With BMX.
He did when they were doing the ESPN Pro Spectacular at Waterford. I can't remember what happened. He may have been injured or something happened, but he somehow found himself. He also did some announcing at the Silverdome race. Brian and I, we actually got some early access to the Pontiac Silverdome track. They would kind of let, some of the pros that arrived early to a race. Brian and I were a couple of local guys, so we got in there. Brian ended up breaking his wrist, so he couldn't race. And he actually went over there and he did a bunch of announcing. So I think that may have been what opened the door for some other people. Noticed his announcing skills, which were, he was announcing at Bogey East sometimes just because he liked to do it, and he was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did do. Yeah. I think he did do a little something with ESPN. I'm not sure how much, but I know that he did do some work with them for a short while. Yes.
Okay.
Very
yeah,
nice.
that's my whole knowledge of Brian Barlow.
Do you want to get Brian on the show?
Yeah, if he'd want to do it, sure. Well, we could ask him. Maybe we could.
I can tell you that. I can tell you one quick thing about Brian. Him and I spent a lot of time together, and we spent a lot of time on our bikes riding. And he's the only guy that I ever saw. 13 Mile and Woodward Avenue used to be a pretty heavy cruising area, for locals, growing up in my end of town. And we were riding our bikes around on Woodward one night, and some girls started whistling at us, this and that. And we rode our bikes over to their car, and they started heckling us like, "Oh my God, you guys are riding kids' bikes," that kind of thing. And so Brian said, hey, hold tight, watch this. I'm going to show you a trick on my kid's bike. And he rolled out in front of her car. They were in like a little compact car, like a little Vega. And he bunny hopped onto the hood of her car, rode over the windshield and down the back of this car, creasing her dent or her hood. And we took off out of there fast, but we were laughing for days after that encounter. So he was absolutely gifted at riding a bike. He really was. He was not just a fast racer. He was a phenomenal jumper. The guy was absolutely phenomenal rider. Phenomenal.
Yeah. I remember doing some like freestyle trick shows and stuff over there back in the day.
Yeah,
too.
Actually, Brian and I, we did a couple of trick shows. We went to, I'm not sure who lined this up for us, but somebody set us up with a ramp, and Brian and I did a trick show at the Utica Fair. It was called the Utica Ford Fairgrounds or something like that. And it was a big fair for like 3 or 4 days. And each day we did like 2 or 3 shows. And honestly, I don't even remember if we got paid. We just thought it was so cool that we were on this stage hitting this ramp and all these people were freaking out. So yeah, it was super good time.
Nice.
So, and yeah, Brian was, again, super gifted at riding ramps, and, just amazing guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Wow.
We have to hit some commercials. All right. So we will be back. You guys don't go anywhere. We got bills to pay. All right. That's what we do, man.
Bills.
DJ Damon, take us out. There you go.
It's time.
BrandedPopUps.com. Get a canopy from your favorite brands such as Carbone Cartel, Shadow Conspiracy, 110% Nutrition, Profile Racing, Union Square Shoes, ProGate, and Gate 9 Designs, among others. Each canopy is 10 foot by 10 foot, comes with a user-friendly collapsible aluminum frame, UV coated for sun protection, and water and flame resistant. Visit our website for the full offerings of your favorite BMX brands. BrandedPopUps.com.
And we are back. There it is, taken away for us right there. DJ Damon making it happen. Melissa, we got anything crack-a-lacking over there in the chat or anything? Nothing?
They were
cool.
just kind of
talking about Brian
talking
Barlow.
about Brian, yep.
Yeah.
That Tom McMillan, Brian Barlow, and Buster Cox were Pete Vitale's favorite Michigan announcers.
Oh, wow.
Some names I'm assuming are a little back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, the McMillan brothers, Tom and Greg McMillan, both are still around. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I raced with Greg.
Yeah, I think both. I've seen both
Or
of them
Tom.
come in.
I'm sorry.
Bringing me mountain bikes. So I know that they're both still active in riding. Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, Paul Remington says that Brian Barlow was actually the first pro he met at Stadium BMX in '82.
Awesome.
So,
yeah. The only thing I have about Stadium BMX was a trophy I found.
yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Like that you had earned?
No, I didn't earn it. I found it.
Oh.
But I heard about like Stadium and.
You know what was cool about Stadium was they had a wooden starting gate and it had a wooden hill that you went down.
Oh wow!
Kind of like a mini version of your like pro hill today.
But didn't the Hartland thing?
Yes.
The indoor have something like that
had
too?
something similar to it. Yeah, but that Stadium was the first place I ever seen.
Chris, what was the track in? I think they called it Grand Blank, but it was like North Flint. It was an indoor.
Was that
Stadium.
famous?
Was that Stadium?
Stadium was in Flint.
Maybe that was Stadium.
It was Stadium?
Yeah.
Did you used to have to wear a flak jacket to go there and race like you do now?
No. No, it wasn't like that. But that place moved around to several different warehouses.
Really?
Over a few years' time, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, man, back in the day, they'd open a track if you had a garage big enough.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
We were jonesing to ride anything, in Michigan. That's why we suffered, is because, all the guys out west and the guys down south were just riding and racing, and we were just freezing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
We weren't, if you wanted to ride, I can't tell you how many hours I spent just on the ice rink on frozen ponds, spinning our tires, practicing staying up,
Well, it's like you got back into it not very long after I did. We kind of got spoiled, with the West Side Indoor over there at Rock City Indoor, and now that we don't have it, it's like, God dang, dude, we got to go to, and by no means am I, shitting on any of these indoors, but you got to go to Steel Wheels or Dayton Indoor, but it's a long drive.
That's
like
like
if you're from
3.5
Michigan, dude,
yeah,
that's a long drive, man. And
I went to Steel Wheels one time, and it was, I think, a year or two ago, and it's so far.
Yeah.
I actually walked into Steel Wheels and I thought, wow, this place is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful facility.
It is.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yes, very
Yeah.
nice. I crashed. I took, I couldn't seem to figure out those turns, but I had
Yeah.
a hard time. But the facility was beautiful. Yes.
Melissa watched my bag ass do a cartwheel for the first time in my life out of the
I,
first turn. It was
yeah.
amazing.
I think what I did was now considered a Scott Wire.
Oh, love
Yeah,
that kid.
that's,
That kid
I just came into that first turn all by myself and just down I went.
just took yourself out.
Yep.
So
100%.
Yeah, I've been there. And it's tough because like here in Michigan now, without that indoor, it's like, do you go to Dayton? Do you go to Steel Wheels, or you just go to Ray's? Because like
I haven't even gone to Ray's. I didn't even go to Ray's. I don't know. It's, for me to want to drive 4 hours,
it's tough.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll put my warm clothes on. I'll hop on my bike and I'll go out and grind. I don't care.
Yeah, you're gangster. You're so gangster.
I do not like driving. I hate getting in the car and having to go somewhere to ride. So,
Yeah.
that's just me. But and it's no fun riding in the cold either. I'll tell you that. But I do it. So
I can testify to that because like knowing you and not from just following your social media, just even knowing you and talking to you, like it can be like the coldest of cold and you're out there on one of your 90 bikes that you own riding.
Yeah.
I've chiseled that down. I'm down to about 82, so
very proud of you. I'll be at the bike shop.
To do.
I'll be at the bike shop trying to figure out how I need a mountain bike that I can go ride next door over at the Settlers Park.
Come see me.
There you go.
Right on.
Yep.
There's been a ton of just awesome chat in our chat room about some like gems of Michigan. And I really would like to invite everyone, in there to, I'd love to set up a Friday night show.
Sure.
And where we can just like talk about these Michigan gems, and just maybe
modern.
Michigan, Ohio, or in Indiana, right?
Yeah. And there's a ton of people like, on the Michigan BMX Hall of Fame that have, photos and stories. Just that's one of the reasons I just love that site so much is just because of the history. Yeah. You go on that site and start scrolling back, and it's just like, wow,
Yeah, it's a Facebook group that, for people that aren't aware, it's a Facebook group on. Yeah. Just search that Michigan BMX Hall of Fame.
And like if somebody that came in like under the age, like me looking at that stuff and seeing it, it's like, wow. You raced on that,
dude,
or you raced on here, or you raced there. It's and when we were talking about the track in Grand Lake, North Flint
Stadium,
right? Yeah, like I used to for work drive right by where that was.
Yeah, it's like Hill Road and Dort Highway.
Yeah, it was
a warehouse there, which the warehouse is still there.
Yeah,
it's something else. I don't know what it is, but yeah, that track bounced around. They would move it outdoors in the summertime, just down like a mile from where it was indoors, and then they'd go back indoors in the wintertime.
100%.
Yeah. I wanted to ask Chris real quick. Hey, did you ever race a place in Michigan over in Oxford called Mount Grampian?
Oh, yeah.
He said, oh, yeah.
Talk about some crazy stuff, boys and girls.
So,
holy cow.
Yeah, I've only raced there a couple of times. But that place was pretty intense. So I went over there one night.
Pretty intense.
This was I think it was like a Saturday night that they were racing, because Frank Post, there was like some other pros in town. So I don't know if they were racing. I can't remember what the details were, but there was a handful of us that went over to Grampian one night, and I mean, I'm telling you, the only thing I can remember about Mount Grampian is it was just like a white knuckle death drop, and it was like straight down a ski hill. We were racing down, a ski hill just wide open, and it was just death defying. That's the only thing I can really remember about Grampian. But yeah, I was there, and it was nighttime when I was there racing. So
Oh yeah, it was a ski resort, a ski hill place.
Yeah.
And they built this
It was-
track.
Bro, you're like what, like a quarter mile away from Pine Knob?
Yeah.
I know you're tight with the owner.
Oh,
Let's set up a race.
well, you know they.
You know
tried
what?
to
Let's
that
do
a
this.
few-
Let's set up a
So-
race on the golf course when Woon Tang Clan is there, and Chris is going to be the parade lap leader.
Okay.
All right,
Right.
and Damon's going to DJ. Capadonna and Ghostface is going to be there rapping.
Well, you remember Mount Brighton had a downhill
yeah,
series.
so I was
going to
mention Mount Brighton.
Yeah, that was some good
So-
shit.
That was a big
So
thing.
it is, and I have some friends that that are in the business of putting on races and so on, and I've always asked, like, why, like, Mount Brighton. I raced Mount Brighton a few times, and it was a pretty fun downhill event. It was
Yeah.
two riders at a time. It was a good time. It was fun.
Downhill slalom, they called it, right?
Yeah, it was like a downhill dual slalom. So yeah, it was two separate tracks, two riders at a time, and you were timed. So you popped out of a chute at the top of the hill, and yeah, it was an absolute blast. And I often wondered why aren't all these other places doing it? Why isn't Pine Knob doing this? Alpine Valley, Mount Holly. Why aren't these guys running these downhill races? I just don't understand.
These are all
and I-
local Michigan ski hills, like in the
Yeah.
Metro Detroit area.
For those that
Yes.
are listening from
yeah,
out
yeah,
of
I'm
the
sorry.
area.
I'm just trying to fill in
exactly,
folks,
100%. Thanks,
that
Chris.
have no clue what we're talking about. But
See,
yeah.
we have
so
these
these
things,
are-
and we have these things in the Midwest we call mountains that are actually landfills,
Right.
and then we refer to them as mountains. So what we're talking about are mountains, and the race circuits on them.
Apparently, it
They're
was the
ski,
first.
it's basically just a ski resort that's only about 30 seconds from top to bottom. So
On a
yes.
landfill.
Apparently,
Some
it's
of
the
them.
first
Exactly.
ski area that ever
exactly,
allowed snowboarding.
but why they're not doing that, I don't know. There has to be a reason. I don't know if it's insurance. I don't know what the reasons are. But Brighton on Wednesday night, Mount Brighton, just on a Wednesday night,
Yeah.
would have 120 riders show up, and if they could do that on a Saturday afternoon, they'd have 320 riders show up.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Wait.
those guys had that going. I think right before COVID started.
We have to wait until Waterford's done racing.
Yeah, let's do it later in the day.
Yeah.
On Saturday
Let's
or
go.
Sunday.
Somebody's got to know an owner there, right?
By the
Well,
way, I
they-
wanted to say that I'm super excited to go to Waterford this year as well. Super stoked to see that Waterford got the state finals. So
Yeah.
very very happy for them.
Congrats.
To get that, make that happen. Yep. And I did not make it to Waterford last year, so I have not ridden the new track.
You're
And
gonna
so I'm kind of super excited to get over there and check that out as well.
you're gonna like it, man.
Mm.
It's fun.
I know I'm going to like it. The pictures look awesome. Yeah.
You didn't race there last year?
I did not make it to Waterford last year. No.
All right. Well, you'll have to slash your wrist and bid your forever.
I'll be there this year. Guaranteed.
Okay.
Yep, guaranteed.
That's enough.
Absolutely.
No, they did. It was cool that they brought in like a track builder from that was not local. You know
Nope.
what I mean?
No. Oh gosh.
Although
I'm
we're
drawing
going to have
blank.
a local track operator on a couple of weeks, and I'm not shitting on that guy. I'm just saying, like,
Mm-hmm.
it was cool they brought in like an out of the box.
Oh shoot. I can't
It
remember.
seems like Waterford Oaks is, really, really working hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
To make the track.
Yeah, for sure.
They
What
got
they know it can be.
They got a new
And
group
that's
of
awesome.
new group of volunteers in there taking it on and really making things happen over there.
Can I
It's
say
pretty
something about Waterford Oaks?
cool. Sure.
They have figured out how to go on our Facebook page and click the button that says send an email. And it comes right to this inbox that we always make sure that it's in the newsmaker segment.
Thanks, Pat Welch.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. People are like, why you guys give so much love to Waterford Oaks? Well, because they give love to us.
Well, there's that, and then it's like fuck you. And
This
it's like,
is
no, it's like because you hit a
This is
button
why.
on our
Pat
Facebook
Welch,
page.
Pat Welch, Pat Welch, Pat
You
Welch.
hit a button on our Facebook page that says send email, and any track, like, please, we love content, right, Chris?
No, we can use it, man.
Hollywood, Chris.
Worst
Gray.
worst thing is we share your stuff on our Facebook page.
Dave
You know,
D'Artano, Scott
share our
Gray.
show. We'll share your stuff. It'll
Right.
help us out. We'll help you out, man.
There's our ramp.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to being there too this year, Chris. It's going to be a fun time.
I'm excited.
And Chris, you guys raced before the decade of dominance of the West Coast track here in Michigan that had the state championship. So
Yeah.
it's going to be fun. It'll be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun time here.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm go off again. I keep stealing the show here, but
I
I helped run Waterford Oaks for 13 years, and I'm really excited to see how these guys have picked up the ball and run with it and are really
Right.
making stuff happen over there now. It's exciting.
That's where Chris Jeffrey started.
Yeah. Well, I did.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
nope.
Yeah.
That's been a lot of years.
Yeah. Actually, my first race ever was at the stadium indoor in Grand Blanc, but Waterford's always been my home track. So
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Lots of memories from Waterford.
Oh yeah.
My greatest memory was this. I went to the Worlds,
Oh yeah.
and then a few weeks later, my buddy's mom took a bunch of us to Waterford for his birthday, and we were like, "Where the f is the fountain? Where's the bleachers?" We like it was like 2 weeks later after the Worlds, and we're like, "What
This isn't
happened?
the same place.
Like, what's going on?"
It basically
it's
looks
tough
like
when
it.
you go to a track like, if you only go to Nashville for the big huge national.
Exactly.
And if you pop in there like 3 weeks later for a local race, you're like, whoa, this is a downer.
Yeah, but imagine like back in that time, which like I still try to grasp. Like, dude, they had like motorhomes and trailers and all this shit, and we're just like, this is these dweebs from this little suburb town of Flint, and like we're like, what's going on? Where's everything at? Like, where's the 2-story bleachers? Where's Brian Fell standing in the crowd flipping people off?
Where's Fell at?
It was crazy.
No,
it was crazy, but
it was something else.
it still
'cause
addicted us.
I actually went to that one of the days. I don't remember which one.
Saturday,
Probably. And
Sunday.
just-
Sunday was the big day.
Well, I went in there. I didn't know because I'd been out of the sport for like
Yeah.
4 or 5 years at that point, but I knew that was going on and went in there. The first thing that blew my mind was I had to buy a ticket to go watch it. And I went, what?
But you did get a thing, a program.
Yes, they gave you a program and stuff. It was really something. I mean,
It was a good time.
If you ever want to get into that,
Let's go back. Let's get the Worlds back to Waterford.
well, not only that, but I can get a hold of one of the people that helped make that whole thing happen.
I have 2 of the programs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've got.
Let's get a national back in Michigan. I'll be happy.
that's a good place to start.
I think.
And you know
they're,
what? The next
working
thing
on that.
we're going to start on right now. Are you
What do
ready?
we start?
Lightning round.
Lightning round.
We are going to start with lightning round.
All right. let me get up.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lightning Round is brought to you by our good friends over at Branded Pop-Up Canopies. Branded Pop-Up Canopies brings you the experience where you, as a consumer, can buy yourself a canopy that brings you closer to the company that you would like to be part of.
Oh.
The whole thing just blanked out on me.
If you are
I
a
did.
co-sponsored rider and you want to represent the brand that's helping you out, get a hold of Branded
Yeah, I did.
Pop-Ups and talk to Brian Fell, and he'll take care of you.
Thanks, Chris.
I saw that Cyclecraft banner, and boy, that thing looks sweet. That pop up,
Fly. It's nice.
very,
Yeah, all
very
right.
nice.
Guys, this stuff is good quality stuff too. It's not,
Yeah.
you know,
Not
your
some
Joe
dog
average.
shit you're going to get from anywhere else.
It's not an easy up. It's good stuff.
Yeah. You know, anyway, we'll talk later. All right,
Yes.
Melissa.
Maybe Patrick Dietz, if I'm nice, maybe he'll send me a whole pop up.
All right, Mr. Jeffrey, what was the last movie you liked so much you watched it twice?
Wow. I would have to say Braveheart.
Nice.
There you go.
Ooh, good movie.
All right. So, what is your favorite sports besides BMX?
Well, I'd say that's tough. I love watching UFC, and I love watching motocross as well. So,
Supercross.
Yep.
All right. Worst place on earth.
worst place on earth.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. I don't know. I'd have to say in the ground because
Yeah.
Excellent.
if you're not breathing anymore, that's probably as bad as it gets. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'd
true.
have to say in the ground.
Yeah.
Excellent answer.
Looking at the bottom of grass is not cool.
Right.
Right.
All right. One place you would like to travel that you've never been to.
Arizona.
Okay. Arizona's a good one.
All
I'd
right.
go with that one. All right. What was the last thing you Googled?
Probably the weather.
All right.
Nothing fancy there.
Favorite thing you like to do on a date with your significant other?
We like to flea market.
Ooh,
Yes.
I like it.
That is cool. So, one sport that you would never want to try.
I don't know. Maybe cliff diving or anything with heights.
All right.
Anything that would put me high up in the air, no.
Okay. Our next question is sponsored by our good friends at Dirty Knobs Podcast. Boxers or briefs?
Boxers.
He paid for that, by the way.
Did he?
He did.
What is a talent that you wish you had?
I would say I wish I was a much better or even a good guitar player.
Okay. What's the best way to waste a day?
Sleeping.
It's so good. It's so
Can't do it.
it's so
When
good.
the sun comes up, so do my eyelids.
I know it. I asked Melissa about my attempt at taking a nap earlier. All right, aluminum, carbon, or chromoly?
Chromoly.
Attaboy.
Oh.
What is your favorite guilty pleasure?
Screwball.
The whiskey?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out if that was a game or what.
Yeah,
no, that's good stuff.
All right. What is the what do people find the most annoying thing about you is?
Maybe opinionated, or I'd say maybe always has an answer.
All right.
Maybe I shouldn't at times.
No, okay. Your favorite color?
My favorite color, I would say green.
Nice.
Good color now.
Kuahara green.
All right. What about your favorite pizza topping?
Jalapenos.
Oh.
Ooh. Hey, that's one that's not very popular. A lot of people say pineapple for some reason. I don't know. That seems to
do
be like
say that.
the
Is it jalapenos or pepperoncinis?
Jalapenos.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right.
Yep.
Wouldn't be my choice, but it's all right.
What- yeah, mine neither. What's one thing that people are surprised to find out about you? Like a hidden talent or something like that?
that I still ride kids' bikes.
I like
You know what?
100%.
I don't know if it's that or the fact that like you still like jump and are a badass.
Well, I mean, it is kind of cool to, you know, rip the first straight at Richfield, jump everything, roll up the second straight, and you have a couple of parents standing there when I pull my helmet up, and they just look at me like, "What?"
You're like, yeah, I did it.
He's the only guy that was like, "Hey JT, you can jump the whole first jump." And I'm like, "I don't know if I can." And he's like, "I'm a lot older than you." And I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna do it."
Make it.
I did make it, but
Sweet.
Chris was like way higher than I was. But I'm still gonna claim it.
That's right.
Hey.
All right. What is your who is your favorite Supercross rider?
I'd say Tomac.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still in there, Chris.
Yeah. I kind of feel this is a silly question, but we had a fella on a couple weeks ago from Australia. So Vegemite or peanut butter?
Peanut butter.
How about this one? Peanut butter, creamy or crunchy?
Oh, there you go. I'm changing it right now.
Gangsta.
For next week.
Good.
Crunchy.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good question.
Hey, you can't go wrong with peanut butter. It's just, to
No.
me, crunchy's just a little bit better.
You think?
To me.
Yes. Agreed.
Hey, two Chris's agree.
Yeah,
In my younger years, I would agree with you
Yeah.
and the other Chris.
Yeah. The other Chris.
In my older years,
Going for the creamy?
I'm not committed yet, but
Yeah.
I'm like maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Our very last question for lightning round: are you ready?
Ready.
Your favorite Wednesday live BMX show?
Oh,
It's a
you
tough-
know. You know exactly what that answer is.
the Michigan BMX podcast show.
I love you guys.
Thank you, Chris.
You're the best,
appreciate
man.
that.
And, we appreciate
We
you.
just need the ego stroke for the rest of the get the rest of the show.
Yeah.
show
Right?
done.
Chris, you are more than welcome to hang out with us while we go through the rest of our show. And if you can't, we totally understand. We definitely appreciate the shower curtain hanging up behind you.
His wife probably wants
Hey,
his
man.
her phone back.
Honestly, this is for Timmy Weiss.
I know.
I wanted to make sure that, you know, I would have the same setup. for
He's in the
Timmy.
chat too.
He is.
Is he?
Yeah. But hey, man, if you can, please hang out with us. We're gonna go through our newsmaker and trivia segment, next week's guest, and our showcase segment. If you can hang out with us, please do.
Yep.
We definitely understand if you can't. So it's up to you.
Either way.
Justin, it's 9:24 right now, so I have to stop.
Okay. So is there before you leave, is
Well,
there anybody you want
yeah,
to make sure
thank you, Chris.
thank sponsors,
Sponsors.
or
Um,
your wife?
I want to thank you know, all the guys that are in the chat and, you know, all the people that are listening. That's pretty cool. You know, I love chatting BMX, and I love the friendships that I've made over the years. So and I feel, you know, extremely blessed in a way and thankful that you know, you guys asked me to be on the show. I thought I heard Melissa mention that Brent Walk was listening. If you're listening, buddy, I
Yes.
love you.
Yes.
Miss you. And Jeffrey Schroeder, Beast Mode, my man, miss you too, buddy. So there's a lot of people on there. You know, I there's my BMX family is important to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm super happy to be here, and yeah, come and see me at the new shop, Crank Cycle and Fitness. We'll be open April 10th, and we'll be rocking. So
We'll be
come and see
there.
me.
Yeah,
We'll be
Lapeer,
there.
Michigan. Make sure
All
you go
right,
up
man.
there.
Hey, if it's okay with you, if we don't have anything going on, can we come out there and hang out with you on opening day?
You could if you'd like to. Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right, absolutely, man.
Cool.
Look, appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with us. And
Yeah, we'll talk before then.
yeah,
Sounds
absolutely,
good.
man. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks.
Have a
All
good
right, guys.
night.
Thank you. You as well.
When is
Let's just go hang out at his
April
bike shop.
10th. It's a Monday, right?
It is a Monday.
Yeah, it's a Monday, dude.
Sweet.
Let's just roach up in there.
Just roll in.
Yeah.
Maybe we could like bring some old school bikes or something up in there. Something. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Make it an event.
I mean, you own your own place, so you could go.
My own place.
You own your own goddamn shop.
Oh. I don't own a bike shop. What are you talking about?
Jesus H. Christ.
Sorry. Hey, how about the Newsmaker segment? Brought to you by 110% Nutrition.
Look at you taking the intro, kid.
Oh, no, I'm just trying to not embarrass myself, which I just did. So, all right. So, where are we going here?
You're on this one.
Oh, I'm the first one. Okay.
No. Justin. Oh, you are.
No,
Never
I am.
mind. Oh, I see. There I go. I read it wrong.
Way to go,
I'm
director.
looking at him, and then you're
Melissa's
Never mind.
yelling at me to read
poor
this.
producing work right now.
All right. So, first up in our
It's
Newsmakers.
Too many days off of work. I need to go back to work.
Right. All right. So, Newsmaker segment brought to you by 110% Nutrition. Check them out at 110nutrition.com. Got some great products, pre-workout, post-workout, all that fun stuff. Go check those guys out. All right. First segment here is, where is the captain? We want to support our friends of the show, Nick and Lindsay Long. We will be letting you know where they're at throughout the 2023 BMX season, and they're going to be April 3rd at Music City BMX.
Yes, sir.
That'll be the next stop on the Captain's Tour. So make sure you check that out. You can find Nick and Lindsay on Facebook and Instagram. We'll check them out.
All right, now we're moving on to another training camp going on from the gate to the finish line. This is at Cape Coral BMX. This is Coach DL is hosting this. It's a 2-day training camp, April 22nd and 23rd at Cape Coral, as I mentioned. There's 1 and 2-day options, and I guess he's having about 25 spots for this. And surprise guest, sounds like Anderson Souza is going to be there as well. So I'm going to put the links in the chat to go sign up. You're not going to want to miss this training opportunity with Coach DL. So go check it out if you're in the Cape Coral area.
As we talked about last week, our friends over at BMX Sharks, they have one of their high-flying riders, Stefan Van Steen. God damn it. I hate doing this, Reed.
Why don't we?
It's like, it's such a, like,
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so
Are you good?
on March 20th, the BMX Sharks and the BMX community lost one of our own brothers, Stefan. His light will always shine high throughout BMX. Stefan gained his wings, and he will be dearly missed. On behalf of his family, and I hope I'm doing a good job on his family side, just need some help to lay him to rest. So we're going to put the GoFundMe page link in the chat, and we're going to put it in the podcast notes.
Yeah, so make sure you head over there if you guys can help out.
Yeah, next week, Chris, you're going to do that announcement.
Okay. Sorry I left you hanging there. I should have jumped in there a little bit sooner. But yes, if you can help out the Van Steen family, we would greatly appreciate that.
It doesn't matter what the dollar amount is.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20.
Hey,
50,
whatever. Those little bits add up really quick, and they could use a helping hand, and that's what BMXers do. We help out when we can. All right. Newsmakers number 4. Hey, we got a work bee going on this Sunday, which would be what, April 2nd?
Yep.
At Waterford Oaks BMX. And so if you're excited, you want to get started, if you want to get back on the track, the first thing we got to do is work on the track. Oh, no.
Read it.
The only thing I didn't see was the time. I think it was noon.
It is noon.
Noon. So head out there at noon Sunday,
Can't read it if you take it
April
away from
2nd. I'll wing it. I've done enough of these. I can swing this one. So they're going to be working on the track. If you have an extra shovel or a rake, bring that with you. Help out. They will appreciate it. Josh Long and his crew over there would appreciate any help they can get. So head over there to Waterford Oaks if you're in Michigan.
And if you guys are a track club or an organization that you would like or love to have your
information
event.
Yeah, you got a race for life. You got some fundraiser you're doing for a certain family.
We're plugging everything.
Yeah, bring it on. Info at All Things BMX Show.
Yeah. That's what we're doing. Melissa.
Yes.
Are you ready? It was a lot of fun talking to Chris this evening.
Oh yeah. No, because he can go old
just
school or current day.
Talking to him from like our first studio.
Oh yeah.
Good time.
Oh, for sure. No, he's a lot of fun to talk to.
So the dude knows everything, man.
And he loves to visit with people. If you're out at a track and you see Chris Jeffrey, just stop in and say, "Hey, I saw you on All Things BMX. How you doing?"
Yeah.
And that's all and he'll take it from there.
Yep.
He's a great dude, man.
True story. All right, prize pack today. Got your sticker pack and your very own Danger Snacks going out to you. You have Dye Job Apparel, ATB cooling towel. This might look familiar from last week. I actually have my shirt of this
Or
on.
the one you're wearing.
That's what I just said. The one I have on.
Which one is that?
The Never Ever Give Up. This is the Lincoln DeVore Racing Team. Hashtag
cool.
Never Give Up. That's their
All right.
gear
Never
here.
give up.
And then you got your ATB backpack there. All right, question for this evening. What sport, especially if anybody listened to the Moms Talk BMX podcast show that we're going to talk about in a minute. What sport did Justin play when he was in high school?
What?
Yeah. You're
What
my trivia
sport?
question.
No.
Yeah. What sport did Justin play when he was in high school? And a hint, it wasn't BMX.
Fuck no.
Water polo?
Dude, if it was, that shit was BMX, I'd have got fired.
Wait, synchronized swimming.
Yeah.
Nope.
We didn't have a swimming pool.
Neither did we.
You want to know why, Chris?
Because it's in Durant.
No, yeah, it was. But, like, we voted on it, and we were like, we're going to build this pool deck thing.
Okay.
And then somebody robbed the money, and we could never build the pool.
It's like somebody embezzled the money.
They're putting,
Yeah, it was your goddamn grandma.
putting some kind
Whoa, wait a minute.
putting some kind of new
My
theater.
grandma?
I don't know, but you got to read this right now on the screen.
On the screen.
Next week's guest.
Oh, join us next week, April 5th, for another amazing episode of the All Things BMX Show, when our guest will be, guess what? You have to tune in to find out. If worse comes to worse, we're going to interview each other.
Chris, I'm very happy you picked up on that.
If anybody's interested in being a guest on the All Things BMX Show, please email me. Don't call these fools. Email me.
You know what? Just text us right now.
Or
You know
just
what?
message the show.
You know what? If we were going to do an open show,
Open show.
Let's-
just
let's
have
a
folks
staff
call
meeting
in and-
afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know, or who could okay, all right, anyway, let's continue along.
So, yeah. Hey, we're taking suggestions for next week's guest. Give us a holler. Put it in the chat. Something.
BMX Showcase is brought to you by our good friends at Answer BMX.
Do you have the answer? Hey, there's the answer right there. Dirty Knobs Podcast. Make sure you check them out. Hosted by our good friends, Hollywood Mike Miranda, EC Eric Carter, I said that wrong, and J.V. James Vicente. You know what's really cool is that's how they talk to each other. It's like, hey, EC, hey, Hollywood. You know, that's how they talk to each other on this show. So that's why we bring it up that way. But they will take you behind the scenes, stories, and guests from back in the day. They're starting season 2. They just dropped Eddie King and Pedalin Lee Medlin. So make sure you check that out. Go to dirtyknobs.com. And are we doing the Dirty Fest at the same time here?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Dirty Fest. Pre-registration is open. All right. So save money and save time by pre-registering. What is this? American Idol contestant Lauren Engel?
Give me your fucking iPad.
Well, dude, I don't know
Give
this.
me your fucking iPad. Let me read
All
it.
right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what is going on.
You are not much better.
Hey, Dirty Fest is going to be awesome.
you.
It's going to
Let
be
me
in
tell you about Dirty
Temecula.
Fest. It's going to be happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, I don't know if you guys know this or not. You can pre-sign up and save time and save money for the Dirty Fest. How dirty is it? It's going to be dirty enough that you're going to want to sign up and save money. American Idol contestant.
I told
American
you
Idol.
weren't any better.
You know what the best part is? Hollywood's right there going,
You didn't
"Am I
mess it up.
paying for
I
this?"
didn't. You messed it up, and I messed it up, didn't we?
Dude, I totally screwed it up.
Contestant. American Idol contestant Lauren
Engel?
Neither of us can read it.
We're gonna have to refund their money.
Glasses for you and no shopping before podcasting.
American Idol contestant.
Oh my God, give it up, please.
Give me that back.
Fuck. He's recording this right now.
I bet
Lauren
he is.
Engel is singing the national anthem.
She'll be signing autographs at
I
the
think it
national
says
anthem.
sign. No, I mean, she's going to be signing, definitely.
I think she's probably going to be singing.
Anyways, you guys got to check out this Dirty Fest down
Shit,
Southern
dude.
California.
We have one more thing to read.
Temecula.
Hans Jobe will be in attendance all the way from Europe. Links are going to be in the chat for the Dirty Knobs Fest for you guys to sign up for the pre-registration.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Damn, I almost dropped it.
It's the worst read we've ever
Oh
fucking
my gosh.
done.
Go to dirtyfest.com and you can find out all the information that we just screwed
She
up.
was American Idol. I can't make up a better thing. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Oh shit! The computer locked up, hon. There you go.
Okay.
American
Wow.
Idol.
Lauren Engel is the lady's name.
American Idol.
All right.
Let's talk.
Here we
Okay. We are going to talk about the Moms Talk BMX podcast. They actually
Why are we going to
just
talk about this?
released the newest episode titled All Things BMX with Justin Tompkins and Melissa Williams. That'd be us.
And they spelled my last name right.
They did.
They didn't put an H in there.
No, they did not.
Hey, that's good.
We sat down and talked with them month or so ago, and they were able to ask us all the things they wanted to ask us, even surprised us with a few turntable questions. So tune into that. You will love it. We had a great time doing it, and we
I
appreciate
listened to it on the way out here. I finished listening to it. Guys, got to go check it out. It is a good one. You get to learn a little bit more about these two people sitting next to me on
Should you
either
want
side,
to.
and it's it was fun. It was a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah, we appreciate that. It was a good time.
I was cracking up
It
a
was
few
fun.
times. So we'll put a link into the
The
Apple
ladies did
Podcast.
well by us. They made us sound good.
Their editing skills are on point.
Yeah.
The
Justin.
the Beer Budget BMX Show.
Son?
That's
what I'm talking about,
Let's
son.
rip some shirts off. Go to the tanning salon, eat some tuna fish, and drink some goddamn protein shakes.
110% protein shakes.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can get those in any color ice shaker you want to get them in.
Really?
No, 100%.
110%.
110%. Thank you, Chris.
Sorry, I'm trying not to screw this one up.
You're on there with me. All right, ladies and gentlemen. This week, though, they're gonna be online this Friday night. Tons of topics. Right?
Oh, it's an open forum. Hey,
it's open forum, but they got a ton of stuff they're going to talk about. Yeah. Look, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know tips and tricks to understanding how to make the main that you're never going to make, it's all about tanning beds, tuna fish, and packaged rice. Tune in, tune out, tear your shirt off. By the way, the other half of the goddamn beer budget
Mike
show.
Melvin?
Yeah. He's making these things.
Oh, that's right. That handicap accessible side hacks.
Yeah, and the side hacks too. So hit them up, man.
You got to check that out. Hackshack.com.
Mm-hmm.
Go check that out. Homie Mike, he's taking care of everybody.
Let's get out of here.
All right, we're going to take you over to the Lane 8 podcast, new episode with Taylor Reedman, titled Taylor Reedman is Back in the Building. This is hosted by Todd Wilson, and we will put the link in the chat. Go check him out. Yeah. And if you're curious, one of the previous episodes, our guest this evening, Chris Jeffrey, was also on, so you can go hear a little bit more about him.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
He was on the last week's show. It was really, really good.
Okay. Next, we're switching gears. We're going over to the BMX In Our Blood podcast, episode number 142 with Ryan Shear. Let's see here. Podcast is hosted by super badass BMXer, Mr. Joe Doherty. And we will put a link in the chat to the latest episode of that. Make sure you check that out. Like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Help Joe out. He does a great job.
And if you guys haven't done it yet, make sure you guys sign up and link and like the Boss Man vlog. And it's hosted by Superfast expert and cruiser racer himself, Maurice. He's going to make sure he brings you guys all the tips and training for BMX racing. You guys can find it at Boss Man Racing. And before we sign out of our Newsmaker segment, I just want to share with you guys. Earlier, we had a fun time talking to our friends over at Real BMX Racing Podcast Show, and I want you guys to go check them out. We're going to put the link in the chat.
Okay, that's a new one I have not heard of. So is it that?
No, it's really good. It's Everett Johnson, right? And Shannon
Polk. I want to say because I'm not sure.
Okay. So make sure you guys check them out. Next week we're gonna have them in here. Okay, so you guys check them out.
Okay, well, I'll go check that. I have not heard that one yet. I will go check that out.
We were listening to when we came in earlier.
Okay, yeah, I was a few minutes late tonight, so I missed part of that. But so hey, if you're a podcast, a live streamer, you have a zine. Like our friends over at Heavy Pedals, you want to have us talk about it on the show, or if you have like a Dirty Fest and we can completely ruin the read on that, hey, we're all in. So send us your info. We'll be glad to talk about it here on the show. Just send that to our email, info@allthingsbmxshow.com.
Absolutely. Melissa, do you have a winner?
I don't.
What?
Apparently, nobody's heard our podcast yet. Although I had some very creative answers. Cricket, tennis, field hockey, table tennis, competitive Lego building. My personal favorite. No.
That's it?
No. So
seriously,
I don't know.
Well, listen,
you want to reveal or do you want to
I want to share this with you. Brian Fell and I, we are professional Jala players.
Professional what?
Jala players. It's like the hook thing, and you throw the ball.
Oh, I've never played that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are.
I didn't know.
Wait, was it racquetball?
Oh no, Chris.
Damn.
No. Oh, Dance Dance Revolution was the other good.
Dance Revolution.
The
Thank you,
flying-
Giffy. I needed that.
Um,
Like that video game?
You sure it wasn't synchronized swimming?
No.
Dang.
fighting dolphins.
Fighting dolphins.
No, nobody does that.
No one does.
I'm sure that's
Tetherball.
illegal. Tetherball.
So many guesses, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. Am I carrying the question over into next week?
Yeah,
or-
let's take it over.
Hey.
All right. All
Yeah,
right. Well,
why
stay
not?
tuned. You'll have to tune in next week to get the right answer then.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Highlight.
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 Highlight?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
What did I
Tells
say?
us, pronounced highlight. High lie. Like I told a lie to you. I didn't tell you the truth. High lie.
I can't speak lies.
Soccer, shuffleboard, wrestling. Boy, they're throwing them all out.
None
there.
of 'em.
None of them
They're
are right.
all guessing. Just a shot in the dark.
All right, tune in next week when we speak to somebody, and I'll ask the same question.
There we go.
We'll go from there.
Is it time
So it is
It's birthday
time.
for the most anticipated
That's a good one, Fel, but I'm not reading it.
segment of the All Things BMX Show?
The birthday segment sponsored
Here
by,
we go.
sponsored by On Two Wheels. So you're at your next national. I don't know. I assume they're going to be at Rock Hill this weekend. You need some parts. Go talk to the folks over at On Two Wheels, Bright Orange Tents. They will get you what you need. So if you're celebrating your birthday this week, hey, I got a special one. Start
Where?
before I get on here. My brother's birthday is today.
Your brother?
Yep.
Birthday, brother.
Brent Beer. Happy birthday, buddy. And I'll talk soon.
Happy birthday, Brent.
Yeah. So happy birthday to him. His birthday's today.
Have you guys ever burnt a house down together?
We came close. No, I'm kidding.
I believed you for a hot second.
No,
Let me ask that question again, and you not say like what you said. Have you ever burned a house down?
Yes, we have.
Shh. Now I'll announce the birthdays.
All right. So if you're celebrating your birthday this week, along with my brother Brent, these are the other folks.
Who burnt my houses down?
Who burned it? All right. This first one I'm going to mess up for sure.
Oh, you.
Dietas.
Copy and paste it off Facebook,
Dude, that's a tough one.
You have a pass.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that one. John Machado.
Look that up. That guy's gonna.
What?
Go ahead.
How would you pronounce it? Machado. Machado.
That's how I would have said
Yeah.
it.
Thank you, Melissa. Terry Smith. Can't screw that up. Sean Kingsland. Bill Ryan. Supercross BMX. Jerry Attrick.
No.
Jerry Attrick.
Yes.
Jerry, what?
You said it much better the second time.
I know, because it hit me what it was supposed to be. Hey, that's me, geriatric. At least when I'm reading these, they sound like it. All right, Bart DeGeorge.
No, he was.
How about DeJong?
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's just like when I screw up your last name.
That's absolutely.
Yeah, he was on the show
Mac
before.
and Mock.
I know. I knew what I meant. Chris Sutton, Andre Hill. Oh boy. Noella.
Noel.
Just Noel.
No.
Vida.
No.
Videk.
Noel.
No. Vidak?
Yeah.
Vidak. That's what I said.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. All right.
Keep
At
going.
least I didn't say vodka.
It'd be better.
Everything goes better with vodka. Man, these are Doreen Payne.
Dorian Payne?
Dorian. Dude. Hey. Scott Bender. Craig Robinson. Laura Stiles. Jerry Nenow, David Rivers, Danny George, Randy Daytona, Amber Puriker. Okay. KJ Romero. Hey, he's another Supercross guy. Caleb Schilling, Olivia Armstrong, Haley Laribel, Christine Ann, Tyler Hoover, and the Style Man, Mr. Colin Stiles, are all celebrating birthdays this week.
Nice.
Happy birthday.
And I'm sorry if I screwed your name up, but dang. It's been one of those days. If you would like your birthday mispronounced on the show, email us info@allthingsbmxshow.com.
Absolutely.
All right. I want to thank everybody that tuned in this evening. We appreciate you.
Make sure you check out live stream version of our show brought to you by Mega Design Group, or you can go check out the podcast version at everywhere you download podcasts from, sponsored by Dye Job Apparel. So your favorite place to get your podcast from, just go All Things BMX Show and they'll take care of you.
And if you guys want to join us in the after chat, we will put the link in the chat.
All right.
You guys have a great evening. And as always,
God bless everybody.
God bless and good night. Stay classy.